So how's it going, guys? It's time for your Walking Dead Season 8, Episode 4 review. So, I'm watching a lot of fans, and, I got criticized last week in my video. Somebody told me, oh, you just keep saying the show's exciting or anything, but, the show's not doing good with character development. And, I don't understand. They've built the characters of this show for season upon season upon season, and now people are saying it's boring. But we had tons of filler episodes in numerous seasons, 4, 5, 6, you name it. And somehow nobody complained. Nobody seemed to care. There were a lot of people that even complained, but now it's like the show is very action packed. It's exciting. There's a lot going on. The war against the saviors is in full swing. And I'm like, looking on my social media, and they're saying, oh, this is so boring. What happened to Walking Dead? I mean, like, are they, like, getting the same show? Are we watching the same show, the same broadcast? Because I'm starting to think that we're not. This episode, a lot happened. We saw Ezekiel lose hope. Half of the kingdom was wiped out. They got attacked in like a big sweep of gunfire from the towers. We saw Shiva meet her bitter end. We saw some people complaining about that, about Shiva dying. I thought it was a pretty heartfelt moment. The look on Ezekiel's face as Shiva is ripped apart by the walkers. I mean, like, they were like, oh, Shiva should have tore those walkers apart. I mean, well, she was surrounded by like 20 of them, so, I don't think so. And, it was, like I said, they went for an emotional moment. We saw that, Ezekiel was losing hope. He was saying that he's just a guy. He's not really a king. He gets captured. His leg is wounded. One of Negan's men is like keeping him captive throughout the episode, trying to help him get back into the sanctuary. And genuinely a good episode, an exciting episode. We got to see Carol kick a little bit of ass. And this is what I'm saying. There is a lot of stuff to like about this season, a lot to like about this episode. There was not one moment in this show where it slowed down or got boring or got too bogged down with dialogue. And next week we're going to see the conclusion of what happened with Gabriel and Negan, with what's going on in the trailer. And we got to see a little preview of that at the end of the episode and the coming attractions for next week. But I'm really confused about a lot about what my friends are saying on Facebook and on Twitter. I don't get why people are not enjoying this season. It's like, what are people expecting out of it? What do you want? Is there a problem with having an action-packed season? You knew what you were going to get. They said all-out war. So if, maybe you like the more, calmer, slower-paced episodes of The Walking Dead, but I'm a fan of this style. I like it. There's a lot going on. There's progression in each episode. I'm excited to see Negan again. I kind of like when they, deprive us of a certain character for a couple of episodes, kind of like what they did with Glenn 2 seasons back. So, I don't really have a problem with this style, but apparently many people do, and I don't like that because that means that maybe the creators will not create another season like this, and they might tone down the action, tone down the violence. I mean, but then again, we've been seeing a lot of people complain. They complained last season, too much violence from Negan, and then we noticed that the violence had been toned down to some degree when they came back for the mid-season premiere. So, the worst enemy of The Walking Dead is half of its fan base, it seems. Because half of the fan base seems to be like a bunch of snowflakes, really. They just they can't handle action. They can't handle some of the gore, the violence. I mean, I've seen far more disgusting things in a lot of horror movies. I mean, The Walking Dead is pretty tame compared to a lot of other, a lot of horror films and a lot of other horror TV shows. I mean, I've seen more gruesome things in other shows and other movies. So, you know, fans don't know what they want. That's the problem, I guess, when you have a big fan base. You're gonna have people complaining about this. People will be a fan of this. They want this change. Not everybody can have the show that the way they want it to. And I don't know. I'm looking at a lot of people saying this, but maybe it's not the majority. I haven't looked at the ratings as of late, but I would assume that they're still high. But anyway, guys, I don't know. I'm perplexed. I don't get what it is. I just feel that there's action. The characters are still interacting with each other. Carol's still a badass. Rick is still a badass. We're going to see Negan, and you'll see more dialogue, obviously, from Gabriel and Negan if that's what you want. But I guess people don't like it. They rather just have a slower pace so maybe the characters could talk it out more. Maybe it's hard, to get more dialogue heavy scenes when there's so much action going on. But we still did see a lot of development in Ezekiel when he's losing hope. And then I'm seeing, just people just dissing the character of Ezekiel. Just like enough already. Like you can't please anybody. When people tell me, like in my wrestling reviews, if you don't like it, stop watching it. Well, then maybe you should take your own advice about this show. Anyway, guys, there's my review. I'll see you next week for the next episode.